Bitcoin's back, baby. Or is it? There's that and some other things that we will discuss probably on today's Crypto Conspiracies.
Plus some stuff on top of those things.
And many other things on top of the stuff that are on those things. So CNBC's Fast Money, which sounds like a really bad reality TV show, hosted by Brian Kelly, is saying Bitcoin is like the internet in the 80s. I am not old enough to know what life was like in the 80s, so...
The internet in the 80s?
Yeah, so you old farts. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? You guys were around?
In the 80s?
You were born in the 80s, right?
I was born in the 80s.
Yeah, so you grew up
for
then.
sure. I know, but, I mean, for me, the internet doesn't really become a thing until, like, the mid-90s.
Yeah, I didn't get on the internet till 94.
Yeah, I mean, and that was, like, when AOL was huge...
Huge. Get your good helmet on there.
Everybody get those AOL discs that came with free hours. Yeah. I think for like a number of years, I only ever used the internet via free AOL discs.
Okay, so is this guy just completely off his rocker, or should we have done some more
I'm sure
stuff
I'm sure there was some kind of internet in the 80s, like, but it wasn't a strong public use thing.
Yeah, there was what was it called? Usenet.
Yeah, whereas mainly just people who were in the industry, right, that connected to each other or whatever.
It started with, I think, universities, if I remember right.
Yeah, that is correct. So, okay, well, he goes on to attribute the slump that Bitcoin has had this year, and he agrees, I guess, with Fundstrat's Tom Lee, who says that it was due to a taxpayer sell-off before the April 17th tax deadline in the United States. Now, do you put any stock in this? Because this seems
too convenient,
so out of left field, right?
Yeah,
like just feels so dumb. I'm not one for conspiracies.
It's been a bleeding horse since January. Like I don't know what April 17th has to do with any of it.
Just like somebody's been stabbing this horse repeatedly for no reason. No animals were harmed in the making of this video, but. So he mentions that there's a recent report by analysts at Barclays that referred to the cryptocurrency as a virus and an infectious disease that would never hit another high again. But we're seeing more hedge companies and firms coming out in support of cryptocurrency in general, saying that Bitcoin could hit 20,000 by the end of this year, and then ultimately what Tim Draper says, 250,000 by 2022. I don't care about 250K by 5 years from now, like that, or I guess 4 years from now. That doesn't help me when I'm trying to get my moon Lambo now. So are you thinking 20K by the end of the year? Are you convinced?
I think so. I mean, that's the sort of growth that I can get behind. But, you know, it wasn't too long ago when everybody's like 100K in a year, or like, you know, 250 in a year.
McAfee's going to be.
Yeah. He's going to be eating a bunch of something.
I want to know what kind of sauce he's going to use.
Hey, all I know for
Buffalo,
sure is we're going to get a bunch of comments about how wrong we are about the history of the internet.
No, we were right.
I was just speaking from personal experience. Right. But anyway, yeah, at 20K, like that sounds like, to me, that sounds from this point to the end of the year, steady, reasonable growth, not spiking growth, right? Which is, I'm coming to a place now after the roller coaster that was the last 6 months, both a good roller coaster and a bad one, realizing that good, steady growth is better in the long run. Like everybody likes the big, I just, 10 times my money in a week, because I invested in this crapper coin or this, this altcoin. But the reality is like that creates a chaos in the market that ends up eating itself up at some point.
Right.
Whereas like a nice steady growth where you're making you're putting your money into what you think is best, and you're able to really track growth. It's moving at a pace that can be analyzed and isn't so FOMO.
Yeah.
That's a healthier market.
Well, and this is where we see, right, that 95% of the coins that are on the market are probably shill coins. All right. So you found an awesome display, I guess we would call it, of something from 2014.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Facebook and other social media websites that have like crypto trading groups there, and one of those is Crypto Traders on Facebook. There's probably more than one crypto traders now I realize it, but a certain person on that group I thought put up a pretty interesting analysis or comparison, and he was looking at the basically what happened in the market in 2014 and what's happening in the market right now in 2018, and where they start, where they crash to, and then for 2014 where it goes from there. But we haven't gotten there in 2018.
Yeah, so he
And
points
so
out 2 double tops and 2 double bottoms, which are not what they sound like
Right.
before there's going to be a rebound.
But it's visually speaking, as far as the way the graphs work out, it's almost a perfect clone.
Yeah, it's a weird, uncanny resemblance there. And if that ends up being the case, right, there's like massive ATHs coming towards the end of the year.
Well, if it continues to be this perfect, there's going to be a big drop in the immediate. It's about
So it
there's
might
about to be
be-
one more big drop, and then there's going to be I don't know, roughly 7 to 8 months of growth after that drop.
Apophenia.
What is that?
The experience of seeing patterns or connections that don't exist.
Okay, so welcome
Are you
to-
saying we're conspiracy theorists,
yeah, welcome
Chris?
to the Nay conspirator over there who's not even wearing a hat. Like, what an idiot. So I'm in. I'm fully in. So I'm getting ready for the dip, going to cash right now, and then once the whole market tanks out, I'm jumping all back into...
You're lying. You're
Yeah.
just holding.
Yeah, well, shut up, man. So we'll have to see how this goes.
On the topic of possible nearby growth or not, so the USA on Friday of
Hip hip hooray.
about 3 days ago from this recording started bombing Syria, which is a very serious political thing that
Yeah.
we don't have the clout to discuss. But
I mean, we do, but we're not going to.
right. I mean, we're gonna be false humble about
Yeah.
this.
That's the beauty of democracy. I don't know what I'm talking about, but my opinion matters.
That's how Twitter works.
I'm gonna go start a podcast.
Yes. Yes. We discuss religion and current events.
Why are we calling ourselves out so much today? Anyway, but what we can do is just look clearly at what happened in the last 3 days in the market, in the market cap and overall. And I'm surprised to see growth.
Yeah.
Right. Nice growth.
Well, so Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general, has become officially compliant with Sharia law. So I don't know what that. All I know is after that compliance, he came
Well, no.
through-
It's been announced that it is compliant.
Yeah, like
it's not like they
officially-
made change. It's not like Bitcoin altered something.
Wasn't
right?
it like an imam looked at it and said,
Yeah. So with that though, that news brought massive growth there because the market was sitting at around 290.
You think that's
280.
what did it?
I don't know if it is. All I know is after that went official and kind of broadcasted internationally, the whole market shot up 40 billion. You can trace the exact time from the release
No,
to when the
you
market started
can't.
exploding. There. No, I'm dead serious. It was going. It's like crazy connected there.
This
So
is the same weekend taxes.
right. So again, I'm not saying correlation equals causation. I'm
Right,
just
yeah.
saying it's an interesting coincidence that both of them happened at the same time.
Well, there are
So-
a few. There's taxes. There's what you just mentioned. Going back to Syria, there's anytime that there's fear of major war, there are people that try to.
Yeah, that moved into crypto for sure.
Not. I'm not speaking historically moving to crypto, but get their money out of cash economy.
Yeah, of course.
And move it into something, whether it's like gold bars, silver bars. I'm wondering if crypto is becoming that for a lot of people.
Yeah,
that-
why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. So
Brass is more valuable than gold.
yeah.
All right, that's a thing. So I mean, only time
Take that gold.
The people who know what I'm talking about.
It's just gold hasn't changed since like the 70s, right? The price hasn't moved at all.
Not
These
true.
conspiracies or not?
And so, but if that tends to hold, if this conspiratorial pattern that we're proposing holds, then over the next 8 months, as things become more applied, as Americans get their tax money back, as people whatever figure out what they're doing, dude, this could be a fantastic year for us yet. And so those of you who have been hodling / thanks for making it this far in the video, if you have, continue to subscribe, find us on all of social media stuff, join our Telegram group because we'd love to chat with you. But if things continue to hold, then we're going to be looking pretty good for the rest of the year. And this 2018 is going to end up being like a, hey, remember when things were terrible in 2018 and we all had to talk each other not off the ledge or
It's
off
gonna
the
be
ledge?
like 2014,
Think?
or the people after the Mount Gox, 2013. Remember the crash?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and thankfully though, our money will still be here and hopefully not, completely gone. So I don't know. I'm excited to see where it goes. Any closing thoughts?
Buy Bitcoin.
Hodl. This is not financial advice. This is all entertainment value only. So be sure to
Yeah.
consult a professional and do your due diligence.
Well, so for the let's say things continue to rise, like some people are suspecting,
Ew.
what do you believe is the best place for your funds? Is it in like the big 3 or the big 10 or the big 100? Like where's
So I'm still holding out for infrastructure coins. So I'm when I look through my own blockfolio and everything else, all of my stuff is either in just pet projects that I really love that I'm going to hold on to forever, Bat being an example of that, Batman, or OST, because, Chili keeps telling us to, be an OST, so we are.
He's just trying to get his OST up.
Yeah. and so either in that, but basically the plumbing of crypto, that's what I want to be involved in, with an understanding that
The poop pipes?
What's that?
The poop pipes?
Dude, poop is where it's at, man. Like the money that you can make with that. All of these things are going to go belly up, but all it takes is
fecal coins.
You don't need rail blocks and XLM to hit. You just need XLM to hit, right? So I'm diversified over the totality of the building blocks.
There are some who believe in the coins that are burgeoning with new industries.
And Kincoin.
Yeah, yeah.
I am deep
because you can't get out.
Yeah. I've lost about 97% of my money in Kincoin.
What?
I'm holding to the moon. So you guys all laugh, but one of us is going to be rich. So what are you going to state?
Me, I'm the one. No, but there's those who believe. I just want to represent some of the other guys who aren't here today. But there's like, for example, the health industry and the blockchain is like a burgeoning like new market, and so there are those who are investing in like the new markets that seem to have a technological future.
Right.
And yeah. Anyways, I just want to throw that out there as a possibility.
Where are you landing?
Well, I have some Metablock. I have some Patientory that I want to get rid of, but I can't. But I have some Metablock for sure. At the moment I'm diversified. I don't think I want to be as diversified in the future. I think I want to consolidate a little bit.
Maybe go into top 5.
Top 10 ish. Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, I'm not going to.
Tron gets back into the top 10.
Then I'll be top 9.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, top 8 because screw Bcash.
I wouldn't just personally. I don't plan on just buying every top 10 or every top 20 just because they're there. But they'll get my first attention
always
and my first research.
So you're all in on Ripple, huh?
That's the other thing is some of the
James was stabbed after this recording.
Some of the smart advice of 2017 has really been undone in 2018.
What are you talking about? BitConnect? I can make so much money.
BitConnect. Yeah.
Sorry.
So, yeah, but I would agree. Chris, are you staying completely out of the crypto market like you've been for the last year and a half?
Yeah, I'm just burying gold in my backyard.
Might as well.
Me and Ron Swanson.
So let us know in the comments below where you plan on investing, if you plan on doing it all, or tell us where we're wrong and why Tron is an excellent coin, which it's not. If you're watching this late into the video, let me just tell you, Tron is not a great coin.
I think people are onto you.
What's that?
If you could start a comment war, we'll get a whole bunch of attention on this video.
Yeah, and that's fine. Tron's trash.
I see what you're doing.
So anyway, anything else before we get flamed on the internet?
No.
All right.
Have fun with it.
Have a good one.